Hey guys, welcome back to Skygrid with Boomer. So, we've just finished up the shop. We've actually gone back and had to restock the new shop. We are sitting currently where the old one was. Man, it feels empty in here. We had 300 plus shops, or about 300 shops that were actually full in this area. And we've gone through, we've removed all the walls, all the chests, removed over, I forget how many thousands of pieces of black carpet it was. I don't know, it was somewhere around 2,000 pieces, maybe a little bit more. And so I'm kind of wondering, well, what are we going to do with this area? And I finally decided that we are going to build our own custom villager trading hall. Now, one of the nice things about Skygrid, at least on a Fnatic server, is we have multiple options for obtaining villagers. So first of all, there are villager spawners within the grid. And you can name the villagers. For whatever reason, in 1.14, name tagging mobs has problems. And clearly it won't be fixed in 1.14, it'll be fixed in either 1.15 or actually now the pre-releases are in 1.16. I have not played in a 1.15 world yet. I've been so busy I just haven't gotten around to it, but I'm really looking forward to the 1.16 another update. 1.15 Bs, honestly, I could leave it, no big deal. So you do have the villager spawners, and you can try that route. The second option is in the grid, in random chests, you can find villager eggs. And so they are obtainable. You could either then choose to build a villager breeder, and 1.14 breeder, which works great in a survival world, and it works on this map on Fnatic. You can also redeem on the server standard keys. Now, standard keys currently have a cash value of somewhere between low end maybe 3,500, high end of about 5,000. They can yield villager eggs. For example, when I redeem a stack of standard keys, 64 keys at the spawn loot chest, on average, per stack, I probably see 10 to 12 villager eggs. I have roughly 13 stacks right now of villager eggs stored up. And so we're going to go that route. Now, what kind of villagers do we want in our breeding center? Well, we've decided there's only two that we're probably going to get. 99% of the ones that we're going to spawn are going to be librarians. Mainly for the books. Now, we do have some books that are above vanilla that are obtainable, such as Unbreaking X. You can get that off of Slimefun. We use disenchanters, and there are, I believe, two, I know one of them, actually four for sure, and it's all the gold armor of Slimefun, where you can make the gold armor, and it's all Unbreaking X automatically by default. Use the Slimefun disenchanter, take it off of there. Don't use an anvil. Do not use vanilla anvils to try to put Slimefun enchantments onto your tools. It will not put a higher than a vanilla level. So if I use an anvil with Unbreaking X, it'll yield Unbreaking 3. Use the Slimefun disenchanter to remove it from the gold armor, and an enchanter to put the X on a vanilla tool or item. Or actually, really any item. So getting Unbreaking is kind of useless because we have the X. Protections, same thing. Slimefun has a Protect 9, so that one becomes useless. Some of the things we do want to get, because they are very hard to obtain, will be excuse me, Efficiency 5. Now you can get above Efficiency with Ultra and Legendary keys. The challenge is, with the Slimefun disenchanter, you can pull all the vanilla enchantments off there, but you will get all of them. So you might find an Efficiency X, Efficiency 10, but it could also have Fortune and Silk on it at the same time, because they randomly assign enchantments in different levels. Okay? So it gets a little creative. So we are for sure going to be looking for efficiency. We are going for sure to be looking for Silk Touch, Mending. Some of the other ones we do want will be Thorns 3, Death Strider 3, Aqua Affinity, Infinity, Flame, Knockback, and then we're going to kind of see from there, depending on what we get. And you think, well, Boomer, you talked about looking for essentially 9 or 10 trades. You have this insane area. Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. If you know anything about 114 villager mechanics, is that the trades are no longer unlimited. It used to be you could keep trading and trading and trading and trading and trading until the villager locked up, and then use a different trade to unlock it. In 114, that's no longer the case. They trade twice a day. And so we're going to be limited on the number of trades that we can make with each villager. And so I have an emerald farm somewhere up there above us. That might be it right there. That might not be. I can't tell from here. But there is an emerald farm up there that produces, on an average day, I can yield 1,000 to 1,200 emerald blocks. So we're going to use that for trading with the villagers. The challenge we're going to have is finding villagers with really good trades. And we can use the trick in 114 with a zombie to essentially zombify the villager, and then we can cure it back. If we find some really good ones, we can drop the price down to 1. That isn't going to be the issue. Like I said, emerald generation is not a problem. I'd like to do the curing simply just to make it easier, because then that's more emeralds I can sell to the shop. But if I only set up 1 of each villager, well then at the most I can get from any book is 12 per day per villager. Now, that might work in some cases. And in other, I'm sorry, I think it's 16 actually. But there are days when, you know, I see a dozen people come on a server all asking for mending for all of their armor, tools, and weapons. So we're going to try to generate, you know, 5 or 6 mending, silk touch, efficiency, and so on. So it's going to take a little while to populate this. The other villager, and it's not really a villager that, I mean, I do want to get one other villager. Most of them I don't need, simply because all the other materials are available on the server. What I do want to get set up, hopefully, and no one's been able to figure it out yet, and I don't know if it's possible because I haven't looked into it. We've had a couple of inexperienced players who have tried to find ways to keep the wandering trader around. If you are familiar with 114, you know wandering traders do not stick. They leave. They are pulled out of the game after a certain amount of time. Name tagging them, supposedly in survival, does not work. You know, to begin with, finding wandering trader eggs in grid is insanely hard. I'm not going to lie. They are, I think I've cleared roughly 8 100 by 100 sections. And I think I found 5 eggs in chests. So I'm going to start putting out the word that I'm buying wandering trader eggs. And we're going to try to set them up, try to lock them down in place, and see if name tagging keeps them on a grid. I'm going to hope, cross our fingers. You know, I can't imagine that's going to be any different than it is in survival, because the majority of vanilla mechanics are here. You know, this is still Minecraft, but we don't know. So we're going to go gather some materials. We're going to start coming up with some designs. This floor is not going to stay as it is. There will be some sea lanterns that will stay, but we're going to dig a lot of this out, and it'll take some time. I don't have a design, a pattern yet. I am freewheeling this, which is something that I do not do, but I am. Some of them will stay, some of them will go, and we'll figure out the pattern together as we go. But I'm going to go get some materials, and we'll be right back. So guys, we're back, and we are ready for the big reveal. Now, I'm still not quite done. Obviously, I need to, well, obviously for you, but for me, I still have some work to do. I still have a number of villagers to include in here. I've got about 16 so far that are unlocked with some pretty decent trades. I do have some work to finish in this area because it is already being built in an area that exists. I'm struggling a little bit with the design of how to finish off this room, but when we walk through this door, we are going to get a good look at it. So, bum, 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 drum roll please, here we go. All right, so we started off with this floor pattern of bricks and granite and polished granite. This was what was underneath the floors I showed previously. We had all these sea lanterns anyways. So we're still kind of working on this. It is a working project. We've got 3 chandeliers hanging in the middle of this for light. The big one is a little bit wider. You can see here, these are just a little bit smaller. I want to give you a good look at these. So this one has 1 extra layer up top and comes 1 block lower than these 2 do. So they are a little bit smaller. They are room centered. Yes, my OCD is kicked in. They are exactly room centered. And so here's what we've done. We've kind of store area with some barrels, vanilla barrels. I do need to work on the lighting here a little bit, but we do have our villagers. So we found a mending villager with 14. Actually, we found a lot of mending villagers, but a lot of them were in a 30 range. I'm like, oh, it's not too good. 14 emeralds on the server translates to $700 that you could sell those emeralds to the shop. So I'll have to figure out, well, what a fair price for mending might be on a server. Considering what I've had to go through, ballpark is going to be about 10 times the amount to pay for all the work itself that it took to unlock, get the villager aids, to build this, and so on. Power 4, this is a trade that's not going to stay at 28 emeralds. It's not reasonable. We're trying to get power 5 for less. I know it can go down to, I think it's 14. So you can see some of these I'm going to keep. Some of these are going to go by, like looting 3 at 36. That's kind of high. I want to work on that one. Channeling at 6 was great. And here I've got another looting at 20. That's not bad. You know, that'll probably put a looting 3 book at around 5 grand maybe. We do have looting X on a server, but that's going for around 250,000. Here I got another mending at 14. Power 4, that's awfully high. That's not going to stay. Silk Touch at 11. I thought that was good until I found silk at, let's see, my guys are over here. I think we got a silk at like 6 or 7. There's a 15, 14, 7. So I have a lot of villagers for silk in case this guy runs out and I need more in a pinch. I'll probably keep the 14 or the 13 and trash the rest. So Mother and Enchants, we're still looking to get a few more. I'm still looking for Impaling 5. I'm still looking for Unbreaking X. I'm sorry, Unbreaking 3. I've got one, but I'd like to get a better one. I've got an Efficiency 5 at like 41. It's a little too high. I want to get a better Riptide, a better Sweeping Edge. So we do have a few more that we're looking into, but this is the haul. And again, I'm struggling with the walls and enclosing this. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is take down this strip birch and I'm going to run the polished andesite up to the ceiling and then bring this crown molding that's up there. I'm just going to bring it over through the wall. Same thing on the other side. We'll take down the strip birch. We'll raise it up to the ceiling, re-extend the crown molding. And then on this side, I'm kind of leaning, honestly, to maybe taking the strip birch up to the ceiling and then crown molding it as well on both sides. I'd love to get your feedback if you've got ideas for different blocks, things that might fit in here. I think it's balanced, but I think it can be better. I just don't like it sitting like this. I just think it looks unfinished. I know we're trying to fit something into a space that already existed for, and that the shops weren't even the original purpose. I kind of just threw that together real quick when these were all the shops. The chandelier I've had built on Creative for about a year, and I was trying to find a use for it, and I figured, you know what, let's bring it in here, and I think it blends very nicely. The oak and the strip birch seem to go good. I do have a lighting problem though, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do instead is put the anvils in the middle and move these barrels to the side, and then above it, up here, I want to attach a fence gate and attach lanterns to it in here to get some lighting on the sides because the sides are kind of dark. For me, I can cheat. I can simply turn night vision on and okay, it's much brighter. I don't like to do this. It is a cheat. I don't like it, so I'm going to shut it back off. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, and hopefully at the next episode, we'll have a better, we'll have a better, more finished area in here. It's something I want to work on. I'm also looking for suggestions on what else to include in this space. I mean, initially, before the server opened, this entire space was going to be my chest room. And it started out actually as being part of the chest room. It was based off of what we knew from the previous map and what we thought was going to make its way forward, and we never really knew until the map was released. This area was going to be for the shops. As it turns out, it took about 4 hours, and I realized that this area could not hold the shops. And then when we discovered Slimefun and we discovered some new things on the server, it became very obvious this was not going to work. I'm probably going to leave this in because I also want to keep the map. I'm debating on how I want to get up to my floor up there, whether I'm going to put in water vators, where I'm going to put lift buttons in. I haven't decided yet, but I want a vanilla-esque way to get down here, and I'm leaning towards the water. I might use the Craftbook engine to put in the lifts, probably right here, to go up on all 4 sides. I have to be careful not to run into machinery that's up there. But that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So I'm also looking for ideas what to put in here. I did test wandering traders and being able to permanently keep them in here. And excuse me, we do have vanilla features, which means after they've traded out, they're done. So I had to kill the wandering traders. They became useless. And in looking at all the other villager types, to be honest with you, everything else is obtainable in the game with the different plugins we have another way, and in much better quantities and qualities. And so I've quickly come to realize that having the other types of villagers really don't do me any benefit, and so they're not going to go in. So I'm going to finish this area off like we've kind of talked about with the polished andesite. I may bring a different block. I might go with a smooth stone. I really don't know. I'm going to try a couple of options, but I will bring the crown molding out, and like I said, I'll try the birch, see how that looks. Then again, you know, maybe we'll go with oak. I just don't know at this point, but those are the options I'm going to look at and see what looks best. But I'm looking for suggestions on what to do with this room. I've had thoughts of, you know, a public warp to where we would have a maze in here, have a contest. I've thought about making, again, bringing my storage down here and leaving the Slimefun stuff up there. I'm leaning against no, simply because I do have everything based up there. And it'd be a lot of work for very little gain. So I think for the moment, this is going to stay open. I am going to jump up here. Well, see, and that's the problem. I have to watch where everything is. We did add, for those of you on the server, we're going to move our... The wither farm is going to probably go down there. This I just added today. This is an automatic 24 karat gold Slimefun factory. It starts by us placing 4 karat gold and dust here, and then dust all along the way. 3 smelters at a time will turn the gold from 4 karat to 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 and so on down the line, which will allow me to craft 24 karat gold in the time that it would normally take me with 1 smelter to go from 4 to 6. Actually, in less time. The only downside is that there is the potential for these to become slightly imbalanced, meaning there might be residual gold dust or residual ingots. Like here we go, I've got 9. Because Slimefun does not perfectly balance the... So you saw 5 dust in one, 4 in another, 9 another ingot. The round robin does not perfectly balance out. And so it has caused a couple issues, and also I biffed. I had the stuff on the wrong channel once. And so a couple stacks of dust, and a little bit here and there, like you can see I got a 33. Oh, and 2 more just transferred in. I do have a couple things out of balance or kilter. So I've been trying to clean it up because I did have too many dust go to the wrong ones. So, you know, I've got a few things to fix in there. But you get the idea. So that will save us a whole lot of time. When I need to get all the way up to 24 karat gold, I can do it in about 1/20th the amount of time that it used to take. As far as what's going next on the server, Well, besides finishing up the Librarian's Trading Hall, or as we're calling it, the Adult Entertainment Center for Villagers, because we're not really building a villager breeder, we're just going to go with the eggs. We'll move the Wither Skeleton auto assembler down. We are going to take the diamond plant, really all these plant farms, they're all going to get redone into one. And I'm going to remove the coal ones because I'm generating enough coal. I don't really run the coal plants anymore. I'm going to set it up to run 8 lapis, 8 redstone, 8 diamond, and 8 emerald, and 8 quartz. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up probably 16 androids, and I'll just swap out the plants as I need to. The supply that I've built up is pretty sufficient. The diamonds and emeralds we use every single day, and I still need a lot more emeralds to continue to unlock villager trades. It's amazing how many emeralds you've got to go through to get to the 3rd trade compared to 113 in prior villager trading. You have to completely exhaust an entire trade, whereas in 113 and before, you could unlock the next one by completing 1 trade. So I'm plowing through emeralds, you know, just in an insane level. So we're going to redo that. This will be gone. We're going to move the AFK Wither Skeleton farm. That will probably go down as well. And then up here, this is pretty much going to be completed. So then we're going to get back to some grindy stuff. We're going to get back to grid clearing. I have a 3rd and a 4th hourglass yet to build. I have an octopus to build on top of the shop. So we might disappear for a little bit. I'm going to try to continue to do episodes in between with a little bit. They might cover 7 to 10 days worth of criteria and material at a time. But that's kind of the plan, is we've got a lot of grindy stuff to complete now. And that's where we're going to get to. So again, I do thank you guys for watching. I was just telling my daughter before I got back to finishing up this episode that I'm really amazed. We started this for fun for a few people on a server and went out of 77 subscribers. Now I get it, not everybody watches, and I'm sure a lot of people did it just, hey, you know what, let me help your channel out, and I don't watch the episodes, but I appreciate it anyways. But I am kind of blown away by that. And, you know, it's not that it's anything big. It was just meant for fun, and I want this to be fun. So thank you guys. If you are new to the channel, I ask you to continue to subscribe or maybe even push that subscribe button. But we're going to wrap it up here, and as always on Grid, when I get winded and I get saying the weirdest of things, you got to go boomer, you got to go home, and we'll see you later.